Hey guys! So today we are going to be playing Genshin Impact with Kazuha. You're probably wondering why. Oh, what is this video about? Well, video is about us free-to-play players and these damn weapons. Because as you know, your girl does not want to spend money on Wish and get these 5-star weapons. Like, can we all agree here? I want to spend money on characters rather than weapons. So, I'm going to be helping you with 3-star and 4-star weapons that you can... some of them you can get for free, and some of them you may already have from, you know, being unlucky in the wishes. So, let's get started with the weapons for Kazuha. For the most part, I use Prototype Rancor for him, because why not? I mostly use charge attacks on him. But honestly, I should probably switch it out for something else. But that's not what we're talking about right now. So we're going to talk about 3-star swords that he could use. Well, he obviously can't use them, but possible good ones that will benefit for him. So let's start with... let's start with Skyrider Sword. So, using an elemental burst grants a 12% increase in attack and movement speed for 15 seconds. This is honestly kind of decent. But the only downside about, you know, Skyrider Sword is it only grants the user increased attack and movement speed, not your party. That's the only downside. If it applied to everyone, oh, that would be spicy. But sadly, it only applies to the person that's using the sword, in this case, Kazuha. And so this is basically a budget version of Vavonious Sword. So, kind of decent. And the way that you can get this sword is either wishes, or you can talk to Pan, an NPC in Leeway, and I'll show you where he's at. Okay, so on the map in Leeway, he is basically right here in this area, around this peak. So, right here, your boy Pan. So we teleport here. And we turn this way. Yep. And then we just jump off, basically. So while we do this, I'm gonna just teleport down there, like, as in cut it for y'all, so you'll see what he looks like, or where he is. Basically, he's all the way down there, so... be right back. Okay, guys, so I am back. He's basically down here. Your boy right here, just chilling. Near here. Let me open up the map again to show you. Right here. And you just speak to him and you have to do like an axe quest. And basically get started and you'll get yourself a free sword. Okay, so the next weapon we're going to be talking about is Harbringer of Dawn. And I don't know, I don't think I have this sword. Oh wait, yes I do. It is right here. So, when HP is above 90%, increases crit rate by 14%. Honestly, this is pretty good. If you're using, obviously, if you're using Kazuha for damage, this is the best budget sword. And a way to get this sword is through wishes, obviously, or you can get it through Kaya's quest, which is called the Secret Pirate Treasure. And I'll maybe put it up on the screen. I'm not sure if I can get a screenshot of that, but it's basically one of the beginning story quests. So you should already have the sword unless you, like, you know, dismantled it or something. But yeah, it's pretty easy sword to get. And it's good if you're, you know, don't have anyone else for damage and you decide to get Kazuha. So here's the next sword, Fillet Blade. On hit, has a 50% chance to deal 320% attack damage to a single opponent, can only occur once every 13 seconds. So, this is more of a support-ish sword. It's basically a budget version of Iron Sting if you don't have it or if you don't feel like building it, which is fine. So how do you obtain this? Well, basically the only way to get this is through chests, unfortunately. I wish they would have like a way for us to get it during a quest or I don't know, but the only way to get it is through chests that you find around the world. Like you have a high chance of getting it, I think, in luxury chests. But don't quote me on that. But that's basically it for the 3-star swords. So let's go to the 4-star swords. Okay, so this sword that I currently have, Prototype Rancor. On hit, normal or charged attacks increase attack and defense by 4% for 6 seconds. Max 4 stacks. This effect can only occur once every 0.3 seconds. This is pretty nice. Like obviously, this is more of a damage sword, so if you're going for more damage or you love to use his charge attack, well, actually it doesn't matter because this is normal or charge attacks, but it's kind of fat. And this, you can craft. So basically you have to reach rank 10, just in case you weren't rank 10, you have to unlock crafting. So you need Norlander's Sword Billet, 1, and you need 50 crystal chunks and 50 white iron chunks. And you're like, Rain, how do I get Northlander's Sword Billet? Well, honestly, there's only like 2 ways that I know of, which is talk to an NPC in Mondstadt if you haven't already bought it, or get it in a weekly boss drop. So I'll show you right now. Okay, so we are here. You basically need to talk to this lady right here, usually the people with the jewel icon. So you talk to her, and you browse items. And as you see right here, I already bought it. And it's 225 of the sigils, anima sigils. And sadly, you can only purchase 1. I kind of wish they, reset it at least once a month or something. But unfortunately, I don't think it does reset. But yeah, you can get this here for 225. And you're probably wondering, where do I get all these crystals or white chunks from? Well, I'll leave some links below where you can find some and, to help you out to collect some, your dailies. What I recommend, oh, don't mind these, I just logged in. Usually some crystal chunks are around Storm Terror's lair. So like this path right here, they're along there, and then around Storm Terror, they're usually around there too. And then some white chunks you can find here, or you can find some here. There's like plenty of places you can find some. But yeah, there you go, a little tip from Rain today. Okay, so back to the swords. Okay, so we are back with the swords. Iron Sting. Dealing elemental damage increases all damage by 6% for 6 seconds. Max 2 stacks can occur once every 1 second. So, the next 2 swords I'm going to be talking about are going to be support builds for him. So, they're going to be based off of Elemental Mastery and Elemental Charge, because as you know, with Animos, or wind units, however you want to call them, they do best with Elemental Mastery, because as you know, once they do that, what do you call it? Elemental Burst? Ooh, it does fat damage. Like, even though I say, oh, it's a support build sort of thing, he still does fat damage. So, just take that with a grain of salt when I say support build. But yeah, you can craft this one too. It's the same way as the last sword I was talking about. You have to get Northlander's Sword Billet and 50 crystal chunks and 50 white chunks for Iron Sting. Okay, so let's go on to the next sword. So unfortunately, I don't have the next sword, but I'll put it up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. But the next sword is Vavonious Sword. Crit hits have a 60% chance to generate a small amount of elemental particles, which will give 6 energy for the character, and only occur once every 12 seconds. And sadly, / unfortunately, the only way to get this sword is through wishes. So some of you may have it, some of you may not, but if you were really unlucky during summoning, you might have it. And so that's why I wanted to include that in there, include some wish-only swords in there, just in case you have it and you didn't know you had it. Okay, so this is a little extra sword that I wanted to throw in there, but the black sword is also good on him too. It's a pretty decent sword. And let's read what it says. So it increases damage dealt by normal and charge attacks by 20%, additionally regenerates 60% of attack as HP when normal and charge attacks score a crit hit. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. Like, that's kind of fat. But the only downside about this is you can only get one of these swords. Which means as of this video, you cannot refine this sword. So that's just a friendly reminder. If you do get this sword, the only way you can get this sword is Battle Pass level 30. This is on the left-hand side. And you can only get one of these swords in the game currently. So yeah. I would like to say this also. So if you were to pick any of the support swords or damage, quote unquote, for Kazuha, I got some tips for you for like substat sort of thing. If you were to, you know, build them up with artifacts and such. And for support Kazuha, I recommend focusing on elemental mastery and elemental recharge so he can keep applying that burst damage with the other elements. And then for damage Kazuha, focus more on crit rate, crit damage, and attack is also nice too. If you have no one else that can do damage and you only have Kazuha to be the damage dealer, there you go. And I didn't really want to make this video too long because this is like my first time doing a video like this, so don't come at my throat. I would like to say I'm no way an expert at this game. I just love playing this game and I like to do some research. So I wanted to help everyone out that didn't want to spend money or been so unlucky they've been getting all these swords and don't know who to use it on. So that's my little input on it. And I hope this video helps. If it does, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you want more videos on Genshin, or into anime or RPGs, and your girl got you. But anyways, have a good one. Bye!